Hello, and hello, y'all favoriteest duo is back, okay? I know y'all been saying we ain't here, but here we are. Here we are to give you everything you've been needing, you've been missing out on, the shade of biasness. We are back, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Friend,
off.
we back.
We back.
Jumping back into it like we ain't even left.
Amen.
Okay, so look, y'all already know what it is. It is the unbiased opinion. Y'all see this beautiful young lady that is sitting on the screen with me, Miss Shay Online. And to get into some things. So y'all know it's been a little minute. So we're gonna go back, come a little forward, go back again, but y'all keep up with us. So y'all know we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? All right. We ain't gonna hold on to them too long, but we are going to have the conversation. We're gonna get into a little bit of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We know the season has just wrapped. And we may throw some other things in between as well. So first off, if you haven't done so, what you waiting on? Like our videos, hit that like button. It is the freest thing that you can do. After you've done that, drop in the comments. Let us know who we talking to and share it out. It's simple. 1, 2, and 3.
Yep. All that.
Shay.
Yes, ma'am.
You ready? What you got? You got to open it. Come on. What you got?
Look, listen, I will start by saying it takes one beautiful woman to know another. Okay. So, and here, okay, my sister friend, she been living her best life, y'all. Okay. Traveling the 7 seas,
okay.
Hanging out, leaving us here in America.
Sorry. Sorry. You know what? When I left and I ended up getting sick. So right before I left, I ended up getting sick and I didn't get a chance to do any of the videos for the week like I wanted to or whatever. And then, of course, when I got out the country, child, I was gone. I wasn't worried about YouTube. What? No. I was over there, doing my thing. And I was like, when I came back, I said, dang, it's been almost 3 weeks since I've done a video. And I was like, I already know YouTube has kicked me out the algorithm. I'm gone. I'm gone. So now I'm trying to claw my way back into this thing. So here we are, y'all. Here we are.
You know that algorithm is ruthless, child. Because when I went to Dallas for a week, I didn't do not no video, and I came back and it was lucky that I jumped back in with that Toya and Regine show. But now I don't even get as many views on that now that the Love and Marriage Huntsville stuff that came back. So I'm just like, oh Lord, okay.
Yeah. It was almost a month and I was like, yeah, I know I'm gonna have to claw my way back in this mug all over. But I don't regret it.
Yeah. You gotta take a break. You got
don't regret it one bit. So we get our 5-minute mark. Let's speak to the people. Hey, Michelle. She said, hey, Shay Renee, how are you? Hello, Michelle. How are you? Angel said, Ashanti or Alicia Keys, who is more beautiful? Hard choice.
Oh, that is a hard. They are both very beautiful women.
Beautiful women.
I will say, because actually, you know what? Ironically, both of them are beautiful without makeup too.
Yes.
I'm only going to choose Ashanti because she all the way black. That part.
Not because she all the way blackity black.
I couldn't find another reason. Because they both are absolutely amazing. So
here's my reasoning. I'm gonna go with Ashanti because she ain't take nobody husband. Okay, so
well, there's
I'm
that.
gonna go on the shadier side of things too. She ain't take nobody husband, so
Well,
Ashanti it is.
I ain't gonna shake the table and start a debate on that.
Oh,
I don't think she took that lady husband.
you don't think so?
Mm-mm. Can't nobody be taking that's out here willing to be got.
Well,
And
true.
and then even the wife has openly said that they were already separated.
Yeah,
She was trying to reconcile, but he wasn't.
he wasn't.
But you know, hey, they done been married way longer than he was married to her at this point. So
Yeah,
I don't know. But I guess Alicia Keys always gonna be known as the home wrecking hoe.
always gonna forever be her name in my book.
Huh?
Sheila, did I say that right?
Michelina?
Michelina, okay. Hello,
Yeah,
how are
that's
you?
I love that.
Yeah. Let's be clear. Hey, Sean, Shay, and Chat.
Hey,
She says she loves your braids and they are cute on her. My girl LaDunn, how are you? What's up? She
hello.
spoke to Miss Shay. Michael, what's up? And LaDunn said both are different looks. Both are different looks. Okay. Then we have Maya. Come on, y'all.
Go ahead. Can you
So
put the
let's go ahead and get this thing started.
leaves over here?
Now YouTube is playing with me, but again, I already know that I got to claw my way back up into the algorithm. So I'm a little low on my views on this side, but that's all right. I ain't worried about it. I'm just gonna get back into this thing like ain't nothing ever happened. Okay. So we're gonna start off with Little Marriage Huntsville. And I asked the question, will Kiki carry the season?
Absolutely.
You think she's going to carry the season? That's the thing is when it comes to Miss Kiki. Y'all know I don't care for her. But outside of that,
You know, because
y'all know
she talk too damn much.
I don't see it for Miss Kiki. But let me say this though. I'm not mad at her being messy. I'm not mad at her stirring the pot, so to speak, because somebody gotta be the ball collector. And Tiffany called herself being that girl, but to me, I feel like she don't never follow through. That's my issue with Tiffany. I think Tiffany could possibly be the best villain bone carrier probably out of reality TV franchise. Any reality TV. My issue with Tiffany is that she don't follow through. Like, girl, it's like you get to the finish line and then you stop and you want to backpedal and pop over what you just said.
Right. I think, first of all, Tiffany is trying to claw her way into staying on this cast because now she
Like
got
any means necessary.
yeah, she got this baby now. She done tricked Lewis into having this baby and thinking that, oh, I'm every woman. Hear me roar. I can do anything. And now you got to realize that it and set you on down. You can sit down. Ain't no getting on a plane whenever you feel like it. That's what I knew it. I said this when she tried to say, oh, I can still work. I can breastfeed and I can do my meetings at the same time. No, you cannot.
Wishful thinking.
Stupid.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah. You could tell that she hadn't had a baby for years. I'm talking as a person that is in corporate America. When
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking riding with my boss with cups in my bra
Uh-huh.
while I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you it's a lot. Lack of sleep. I'm not getting up in front of people and doing presentations the way I was before when my son was a baby. He's 7 now, but I am very hesitant to go back to that life because I know I
What it brings.
yeah, yeah.
It comes with a lot.
So that's why I'm like, you could tell she was so far removed from the process that she didn't understand how much that really would
Which,
interrupt her life.
but I'm gonna kick it up another notch. I don't feel like she was that far removed. I do feel like it plays a part because their kids are teenagers.
Yeah.
But I also feel like she relies so much on Big Lou.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Lou said, because I told you we don't need to do this. And I think he's giving her a hard lesson. Now, is it the right thing to do? Because, that's debatable. But I do feel like she put so much on Big Lou,
Mm-hmm.
overthinking so much, like, oh, Big Lou gonna do it because he been taking care of the boys. But them boys are big. They feeding themselves, they clothe themselves, they bathe themselves. They can tell him when he hungry,
Yep.
versus a baby don't. It takes time. And because I feel like he was doing such a great job with the older boys, she thought that, oh, he was just gonna fall in line with this little baby. And Big Lou said, no.
Yeah. First,
He missed it.
you walked into this relationship with both of y'all having the mindset that, hey, we're going to focus on our businesses. We're going to raise the 2 boys that we have as brothers. And we're going to, be happy, and we're singing and we're colored. We're going to do the right thing. We're going to do all these things, and we're not going to have any kids. And we're just going to be entrepreneurs and get money.
Yep.
You push the goalpost.
Yep.
And you know what? I want to have a baby that got both of our genes. It ain't enough that y'all had 2 kids already. You want to do all that, and then you got on national TV and showed your tail, you being a messy little somebody, messy Curly Sue. Then you come on this season, and then you start off with the mess. You breastfeeding and being messy.
Locked in. I'm mad at it.
Now I will say this, but I'm gonna let you get your point. I like that Tiffany is messy though, in certain,
too.
especially with them Scots, But she's doing a whole lot with Kiki. Like I don't understand her whole whatever with Kiki. It's a lot.
I totally agree with you. I'm not mad at it. And just like we were saying in the beginning, I feel like she has everything. I think she's quick wit.
Yep.
She don't have to raise her voice and get all dramatic and put on a scene, and she ain't got to curse you. I feel like that is a perfect shady boots type person is Tiffany, who can keep her composure, look you dead in your eye, read you without batting an eye. Tiffany literally has what it takes to be the villain and to be the bone carrier and the messy person. She don't follow through.
Right.
And that's the issue. Because now that she's confronted, now it's time for her to peep pop. No, stand in what you were saying.
Exactly.
If she stand in it, Tiffany will, in my opinion, I feel like Tiffany will make a name for herself. Out like how Mel has a name for herself, how Nene has a name. I think Tiffany has the potential to make a name for herself.
She does, because Tiffany is not afraid to say the things.
Yep.
And by her not being afraid, and like you said, I agree with you, follow through with it. Don't get all scared once somebody finally, but then again, I don't really think that she gets scared, because when people confront her, she is 10 toes down in the sand with everything that she says. Most of the time, especially when it came to Destiny, that the first season she was on.
Yeah.
But I just think I think the difference from Destiny to now, she's trying to find her way within the group. And she's trying to, she don't have enough information to stand 10 toes down. With the situation with Destiny, it was face front, like you coming for me, I'm coming for you. You know, it was between them. But with the Scotts, it's like y'all got a whole lot of stuff going on. I'm just talking about what's in the blogs, but I really don't know if this mess is true. I'm just bringing it up.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the same thing with this Kiki stuff.
Yeah. Now I said this. Now you tell me what you think. People disagree, but that's okay. But I said the only reason why people are, in my opinion, people going up for Kiki the way they are is because they're going after Letitia and Marceau. I feel like if she was still team cousin, I feel like they'll be looking at her like they look at all the best of hillbillies. I think she'll be another one on the notch.
You know what? I think everybody was automatically going to like Kiki because she's cool with Mel. That's what I think. I think that because of the fact that her and Mel have a good relationship, it's all good in the hood with Kiki. Even if Kiki was cool with Tisha, it would be all good, you know, because she's cool with Mel. That's what but also, I think people know the backstory of this stuff with the Home Depot thing because she's innocent. This whole scheme, apparently, I'm gonna say allegedly. Apparently, it's being said that Marceau has some affiliation with Home Depot, and Kiki wasn't even at Home Depot on that day that happened, and it was somebody else that did it. So she has litigation against Crime Stoppers for falsely putting her image out there and saying that it was her or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she never, think about it. Think about how long ago that was. And Kiki actually since then she went in there a couple days after that was done. Mm-hmm. Talking to people at Home Depot. If you searching for this person, she right there in the store. Why you take her to jail? So it's a whole thing, and I think it's gonna come out during the season, and that's why she can't talk about it very much. Right. I think it all boils down to Tisha doesn't like the fact that Kiki is getting all this love. She don't want Kiki to surpass her, which if Tisha was smart, Kiki was never going to surpass her in her fame on the show. Never. But the fact that you are trying to keep pushing her, shoving her head down further and further, mm-hmm. her more shine, because you are noticeably trying to be sketch.
Go against her. But here's the thing, because with that, and I agree with you, I don't think that she would have ever became a main cast, mainly because she wasn't picked. Now they can do the semantics back and forth and say that, well, they were saying that she had these drug problems. Y'all don't want this, her to come on the show with that. Me personally, if we gonna keep calling Carlos King the messy boots man that he is, I don't feel like there would have been a stumbling block. That's just my opinion.
Right.
I feel like he would have used that as a way, because she just, got clean 2 months ago, I'm not going to put her out there. I think he would have been like, oh, shoot.
Absolutely.
We're going to have to talk about this. Same way he pushed the Mel and Martell cheating allegation. Well, not allegation. Cheating situation. Mm-hmm. So I feel like he wouldn't have shied away from it. I feel like she just wasn't, my opinion, she just wasn't entertaining enough for them to be like, no, we want you and your husband.
She wasn't. And Kiki rambles too much. Like, she takes long to get to the point. Mm-hmm. And that's her problem. That's what makes her not as entertaining, because we don't even really know much about her outside of her being Tisha's cousin and the drama that they have back and forth. I ain't seen her cheering. I ain't seen her husband but twice. Like, what do you do to make money? What do you do for a living? She's talking, she gets on everybody's Instagram or YouTube page that'll allow her to get up there and ramble on and on and on and on. It's the song that never ends.
And see, that's another thing I don't like. I don't follow her like that. I don't follow her at all. But that's another thing I don't like. She's making herself too accessible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you make yourself too accessible, what is it that we're going to look for, or why do we need to bring you on full time when any Dick or Harry, Sally or Sue call you and you're saying everything but then saying nothing at the same time? And it's almost like she tried to have this mystique about, oh, it's going to be on the show. Oh, you got to wait. Girl, you going to talk or not? Like, what we going to do? Get to the point or you going to move on? But I do feel like she's too accessible. And I'm here for the mess, whether it's to Kimmy, whether it's to her own cousin, whatever the case may be. My thing is that I feel like Letitia and Kiki are willing to do anything to stay on TV. And if that means that our relationship has to be fractured, our relationship, and they go back and forth between we always used to be close to we always was in competition back to we always used to be close. So I don't really know what's the real deal with them because the story flips and flops so much between both of them. Not just Letitia, not just Kiki, between both of them. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they're both willing to air out all the dirty laundry just so you can get this $5,000-$10,000 check on, because neither one of y'all still ain't built y'all house. Neither one of y'all still not thriving in the way that y'all want to. So I'm almost wondering, like, is it worth it? Because y'all not pushing anything outside of Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Let me tell you something. It's going to be some sad adults when this show is no longer.
Yes.
It's going to be sad because the only people that have created a reasonable image, career, business for themselves is Melody.
Yeah.
Point. Even the Scotts, y'all trying to make yourselves look like an enigma. We already know that you are amongst 9 people that own Black. You don't even own that outright yourself, even though you just the one with all your pictures all over the place because you own TV. Then you got Maurice and Kimmy, which, by the way, Maurice, you talking about some, well, I paid for my booth. We should have got a bigger space since I paid. What the hell? Would you need a big counter for legal advice?
For a pamphlet?
You ain't selling that net, not a beard oil, not a nothing. What are you over here offering that you need all this space to share with the world? Boy, go sit it on down. Sit down. But anyway, I forgot what the hell I was going to say. That just irritated me thinking about Maurice and that $100, and he irritated me in that scene with Kimmy. Oh. Get into that.
Yes.
But damn, what was I saying, girl?
How they not gonna do well when the show ends. I got you, friend.
Yes, thank you. So Kiki says that she's an author, she's doing speaking engagements, she's doing this, but you've moved, I think, twice since she's been on the show, because she was moving into a house when she first got on the show. She was sitting, I remember her sitting down with, was it Wanda that came over her house for her to have a conversation? She was like, yeah, we just unpacking. Then you moved again. So what are you doing? What's going on with you? You're not teaching at the university anymore, allegedly, I don't think. So how you getting your money?
That's my thing. The lengths that both of them are willing to go through just to be top dog is crazy to me. And even with that being said, I'm also say this. Mel, we know for sure if the show ends tomorrow, she's fine.
Yep.
Chris Fletcher and Nell will be fine if this show ends tomorrow. Whether y'all like her or not, guess what? Stormy will be fine if the show ends tomorrow and never come back. Those 4 people will be all right. Let me add in her because I don't even really care for Kimmy either. Kimmy, will be all right without this show. Maurice, because association, and that's his wife. So of course, she ain't gonna leave him in the dust. So he gonna be straggling along and holding on to her coattail. But even outside of that, Kimmy will be fine.
Yep, absolutely.
Because she's Martell.
Mind working. Kimmy doesn't mind.
Don't mind.
Will go and sell a house.
Yes.
She will take care of the patients. She gonna do her. And Maurice, like you said, gonna ride her coattails. Whether he is gonna hold on to that in sickness and in health.
Okay.
Forever.
That part.
Okay.
That part.
But and Martell, child. Martell. That is squatter of the century. You over there squatting in them people's house, just squatting all over the place for 8 months. You should be ashamed of yourself. You a broke tail. That needs to be, somebody need to copyright that. Like, for real. He's an idiot.
Just when I feel like he could get no dumber, each episode he shows me that he can get dumber each and every time. I'm like, sir, you want to come over here, talk as if you're speaking also deep theologically, like you dropping all types of messages when you're talking to Chris.
Look, I got to
say, you ain't said not a damn piece of Nathaniel. You ain't said nothing.
You know what? You must be a fool. You must be a fool. You took your ex-wife to court to take some children that you can't even put a house over their head. You are the true meaning of you ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out, sir.
Literally.
Okay? Literally. Okay? Then you over here, you kept saying continuously, as my friend.
I couldn't stand it.
My friend. You want to keep on using the fact that you are somebody's friend to manipulate people. Well, all in all, that it don't have nothing to do with y'all being friends. It's all about being a low down, dirty, shame bum. That's what you are. You don't want to do what it takes to take care of those children. You try to go over there. Now, if you were a decent human being, your ex-wife might have helped you out. And if you were a decent human being, you would still be in that house that y'all had that got foreclosed upon. I'm sure I understand. Yeah, you ain't got to understand, Siri. I understand, girl. Because I don't understand Martell either. The one talking. But
always gonna jump in.
I don't get him. Martell is a parasite. He is always looking for his next victim of who he can use and abuse. And I'm just like, while you over here getting Ariane cars that's getting repossessed and she moving from pillar to post, go post up in her house. If you making millionaires, why she ain't got no money?
Well, that's frowned upon when you in Section 8. You can't live.
Not Section 8.
Allegedly. That is frowned upon. The man cannot live.
I don't watch Claudine, okay? So you better not have no man over here. And hide the toaster.
Hide your good stuff, okay?
Good silverware. But yeah, Martell, that man, that thing over there, oh, he got you got a nerve to be trying to sit here and make this man feel bad for you because you've had 8 months to find you some dwelling.
And not only that you had 8 months, the fact that you are mad at him because he ain't found you nowhere to stay. Nigga, he got somewhere to go lay his head in every night. You don't. So just like Marceau and Letitia went and got them a rent-a-center apartment, baby, you could have went and got the same exact thing.
You could have been neighbors. Hello?
Literally.
It's another one available right over yonder. You move in there. That's what you do. But you know what? He wants to pretend like he has more than what he has, you see. So and mind you, the people that were selling that house, I'm pretty sure that was probably a favor to Chris Fletcher, because it's hard for them to sell homes in Huntsville, because I don't even think that they have sold Destiny ex-husband house, because that ain't been more in the moon. I don't think that they've sold that house yet. So it probably took a while for them to find somebody to buy that house. So he was benefiting off of that, where he's paying rent in this place. And you know, they have some type of money coming in, but now they got a contract on the house. Get out, squatter.
Go.
2 weeks. You got 2 weeks. You've had enough. You've had enough time.
Take your duffel bag and get on about this bug. It's time to go.
You just sit up here and act like, and you know, as my friend, like you acting like, oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna talk, you know, like if he was to say in that meeting at that moment to Chris Fletcher, you know what, I don't know, this is gonna tarnish our relationship. I don't know if I want to talk to you anymore. If I'm Chris Fletcher, I will be like, so what are you doing for me? You just subpoenaed me and my wife to go to court, trying to make it seem like you think you're slick. You try to make it seem like we on your side, and we're not.
Ain't.
You know what? You know, actually, I came here to kick you out. The sheriff is outside. You get it.
It is. Get it together. It's time to go. Mm-hmm. You know what? And speaking of the custody and him being subpoenaed, again, just when I think he couldn't get no dumber, here he go being stupider and stupider and stupider again. I'm like, that's not a word, but if we was to make it, you're going to be the picture and the poster child for this word. For him to tell Chris, oh, it wasn't about no sides. I just want the truth to come out. And if it makes me look bad, then so it be. Man, ain't nobody finna subpoena nobody for you. I'm ready to have Shay to come to my court hearing for her to say something bad about me. I'm not. No. I want Shay to say how much of a good mama I am. How I got a garden. I don't even shop at Kroger's because my Kroger's in my backyard. Like, come on.
First of all, he got mad at his own mama. He wasn't talking to his mama because she didn't get up there and lie for him. So you know good and daggone well that you wanted manicured nail and curly Sue Chris to get up there and sing your praises. You need to stop.
Exactly what he wanted. Exactly.
But I don't know, but that's how you know that he's stupid.
Yes.
Because you know that they're friends with both of y'all. What is their incentive? Here, and you know what? We gotta ask ourselves this question. What are these people's incentives to lie for you? You ain't got shit. I'm sorry.
One of them two little suits.
So what am I going? Quid pro quo, Clay.
Yep. That's it.
You do something for me, I do something for you. But you can't actually do nothing for me.
Can't do nothing. Can't do anything. I like this man got to be the dumbest person I know. And I feel like calling people dumb. And, you know, I try my bestest not to do stuff like that. But with Martell, it is so free. Between him and his baby mama, it is the hardest thing to do not to call these folks out their name. And I'm like, Martell, that was the dumbest thing you could have said, sir. Like, just keep it a buck. Because you my friend, I expected you to, be my side. And he could have been real and be like, maybe I shouldn't have done it because y'all still are friends with Melody. But because I'm in court, I wanted you. We know what you're doing anyway. Stop trying to come and make it seem like this is for the betterment of the children. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't have took her to court.
Right. And
you would have dragged her through this.
Exactly. So this totally defines why you took her to court. You took her to court because you wanted money, because you don't get it. That's what it is. Martell, you know, life could be so much more different for this man.
It's all be so simple.
Admit that he's a royal F up. Yep. You're a royal F up, and you're not doing anything to change that image of yourself. You're so constantly out here trying to pretend that you're something that you're not. It's time to take the rose-colored glasses off, live life, and do what you got to do to take care of your kids. Because if your kids was the main focus of everything that you do, you would have been in that house that you had, the marital home. You would have still been in there. Mel wouldn't have had to have allegedly pay your light bill. You would be on both feet, standing up, 10 toes down, and you would have businesses doing what you're supposed to do, being a man. And out here being a messy queen. You out here asking for blind loyalty to people that you cannot give back. And you just fronting. You are fronting to the ends of the earth. And we are tired of it. It's your level of grace that anybody could extend to you has ran out.
It's gone.
Yeah, your cup
it's gone.
And it is in the negative.
It's gone.
It's gone.
So speaking of fraudulent, let's move over there to Mr. Maurice.
Oh Lord, this fool.
And how you want us to believe, sir, that you are this energizer bunny in the bedroom and you need sex on demand from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. Now, sir, how you doing, Maurice? You all right? Let me tell you something. You are an insensitive bastard, okay? And your wife, and Kimmy did reveal that she is done with her cancer treatment, praise God. But your wife still have that poison running through her veins. Still got it.
Mm-hmm.
Still got it. You know that she's on medication. And just because she done stopped the treatment, oh, she supposed to jump back and bounce back into who you thought or knew she was however many years ago when y'all met. Now, also with that being said, you're going to tell her that it's a mental thing. You being a butthole is also a mental thing. And you ain't making nothing wet, slip, or slide in her regional area when you continue to be the butthole that you are. What were you trying to accomplish in this situation? Because if you wanted sex after the bike ride, sir, you messed it up. It's gone.
You know, that scene was very triggering for me. And I'm going to get through this without getting emotional again like I did in my review. I just lost a friend, literally her ceremony, because she didn't want like a funeral last Wednesday.
I'm sorry.
She survived breast cancer. Initially, it came back. Then she had brain cancer. She didn't, unfortunately, beat that. Beat it. 38 years old, 39 years old. She leaves behind a husband, an 8-year-old son, and a 6-year-old daughter. My friend, okay, who she was married to, I became close to her because she was married to one of my close friends. I watched this man, and he has a high-powered job for a very influential company. Kids never skipped a beat. He was there for all of her appointments. Up and down the steps when she couldn't. Like, she literally wasted away. Feeding her when she needed it. Never once did that man think about, oh, we can't have sex. And it just, that moment, and I think it was because it was so fresh that, we had just, sent her off to glory. And on that Saturday, I just couldn't wrap my mind around, your wife is alive. My friend just had to, and mind you, my friend Jennifer, she didn't want us to see her like that. Like, a week before that, she was in hospice, and I was just like, I can't see her like that. And she was like, see me like this. So she was cremated. I'm looking at Maurice acting like this with your wife that's standing here breathing and made it.
Yep.
And you are pressuring her to have sex with you. And it brings me back to life with how pissed I am with Kimmy, because it doesn't allow me to really feel sorry for her anymore because
Mm.
with the shenanigans,
You letting it happen.
you're letting it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowing this man to treat you like crap. Y'all are making this your storyline.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
know, and for him to tell her that this is mental, that lets me know you didn't go to that one daggone chemotherapy treatment.
Not one.
You sitting with her because there's
Mm-hmm.
no way that you can sit with somebody that is going through that, literally watching their life flash before their eyes every day.
Mm-hmm.
All losing your hair, not being able to eat, not being weak. You can't do the things that you can't eat the things you used to eat. All these
Yep.
things, you're fighting for life, literally. It's
Yep.
no way that you can watch somebody do that and be worried about when you're gonna be able to stick your dick in me regularly. You have lost your cotton picking mind. Absolutely not.
It is that, and again, I apologize for your loss, and I truly understand, um, because I feel the same exact way. Like, there's no way that you can be this simple minded at your big age. Your big age, there's no way you're this simple minded, and I don't find it to be funny, in my opinion, to have this type of storyline.
No, no.
I don't think it's funny. I'd rather see how you and Jalen ain't getting along, because where is Jalen? Okay. I would rather see that. Show me, y'all wanted to drag Monster in here, little MJ. Let's pick that back up. I
Right.
don't want you talk about and being insensitive about something. I went through chemo. That stuff takes time to get out your system. Even when you stop it, they tell you it's gonna be about 6 months to a year before it is completely removed from your system.
Wait,
So
you went through chemo?
I went through chemo. Yes.
Really? I never knew that.
Yep. I went through chemo.
So you
And
have fiber?
no, I end up having a ectopic pregnancy.
Okay.
But when I had the pregnancy, I had two DNCs done. I think that's called, whatever thing is called. And I kept giving out pregnant hormones and symptoms. And they were like, "You're not pregnant, there's no baby in there." So when we went to do another ultrasound, the molar was still sitting on my uterus and it wouldn't remove. So the longer that it was sitting, it was turning to cancer.
Oh no.
Yeah, the DNC wouldn't remove it, nothing, because I ended up miscarrying, so I had to have a DNC done. I had to go back 2 weeks later to get another DNC done after the first one because I was kept showing like I was pregnant or whatever, and they was like, "Well, maybe we didn't get all of it out. We're gonna go back through there, but we're gonna scrape your walls so we can get everything out of there." So I had to go back through that. I went on for almost at least 6 months before I had to switch doctors. So I'm like, nothing is changing.
Yeah.
And my levels were still high as if I was pregnant, but I'm not pregnant. So I ended up going to our cancer clinic here, and he was like, "You have a molar sitting on your uterus. And the longer it sits, it turns into cancerous cells." So he was like, "We got three options. You can get a hysterectomy, you can get another DNC, or we can go through chemo." So my mind is blown. I'm like, "What the heck?" And he was like, "I don't want to do a hysterectomy on you because you're too young." And I was like, "Okay." He said, "We do not need to go back in there and do another DNC because we can damage you. You already had two. A third one would damage you." He was like, "Chemo is the best option. It's going to shrink it all the way down and remove it." And I was like, I don't know. It's still like a lot coming at you.
Yeah.
You hearing all this. So he was like, "All right, don't worry about it. Come back next week. We'll talk about it." I go back next week. He was like, "What you think?" I said, "I honestly still don't know. A week ain't long enough to think, sir." He was
Right.
like, "All right, come back another week. Come back next week. Tell me what you think." Came back. He said, "Look, you don't have that kind of time. We need to make a decision." So I'm like, I don't know. He said, "Okay, I'm gonna give you one more week. Come back." I came back, to sign in. She was like, oh, you gonna go to the lab? What I'm going to the lab for? Go to the lab, get my work done. Okay, do you have somebody here with you? And I'm like, no. Why I need? What's going on? Why I need? Oh, you started your chemo treatment today. I said, I'm starting what?
Oh Lord.
So he made the decision for me. I said, what? And she was like, yeah, you're starting your chemo treatment today. So I had to call my husband. I'm like, I'm starting chemo. My husband couldn't make it. He's a police officer. So he was like, let me see what I can do. So I ended up calling my mom. So my mom ended up coming down there with me. And let me tell y'all something. Whoever never been in it personally or went with somebody to sit with them, when I tell you it is a eye-opening situation, because every walk of life in there. Your status do not matter. Your race do not matter. Your financial standing do not matter. When I tell you, I saw a lady come in there with her nice designer bag, money, and sitting right in there getting chemo. When I tell you they busting in the people from jail, sitting right in there getting chemo.
Wow.
When I tell you every walk of life is in there, very humbling situation, very humbling. So to say that and to say this to now get to this point is insensitive, for him to act the way he does. My first time getting it, I didn't eat. I didn't know what I was prepared for. Soon as that stuff went in my IV and went in my arm, I was vomiting literally. Not even 1 minute later.
Oh my God.
That's why I always call it poison. That's why I call it poison. Not even a minute later.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I really don't think people understand, just how grueling and intense that process is, and to go and going through all that, and then to be like a supporting family member of a person that's going through that. You know what I mean? Like it gives you it should give you a whole new perspective.
Yes, it should.
Yeah, and I'm sure your husband throughout the time wasn't saying, well, when you gonna be done with this so we can fuck? Like
never crossed his mind. And I was going at first on a Tuesday. I ended up having to change it to a Friday because I would literally have to sleep it off 2 days. It took me about a day and a half or 2 days for me to get to the point of I can get back up moving again.
See?
So, and I didn't even go to the lengths that Kimmy went through. She went through radiation. I didn't have to go through radiation. And she went through surgery. I didn't go through surgery either. I just did chemo only. And I did chemo for 6 months. So I didn't go to, and not even close to, everything that she had to deal with. But even the little bit that I had to deal with, she had to do so much more. And you as a grown man acting like this?
Right.
Because you want some cootie cat? Like, why is your mind even thinking about sex at this moment?
Right.
Even with my little situation, I had to protect myself. I couldn't get sick. Because when you taking chemo, it lowers all of your levels in you. The common cold will have you hospitalized.
Dang.
A common cold. I have to get shots every other week because it brings all your levels down. So if your levels are not at a certain point, you can't get chemo. So they'll have to. So you get blood taken every time you go. Every time you go, they look at your levels. If your level's too low, I can't give you chemo. I'm gonna have to give you a shot. So they give you the shot, boost your levels back up. I was literally getting a shot literally every other week because it would bring me down so much that my levels were never good enough for me to get chemo consistently every week. And I'm like, sir.
That lets you know how much that's a toxic process.
Yeah.
For draining your system like that. and to like literally watching somebody go through that, and that's what you thinking about.
Yep.
That lets me know he was not there as much as
Couldn't have been. He couldn't have been. He was dropping her off like
Mhm.
she going to school for her first day
Yeah,
and walking back out. He couldn't have sat in there.
no,
You couldn't have.
that's crazy. Wow. Well, thank God that you are rid of that
Yep.
situation and that God kept you. You are
Yep.
healthy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. But child, oh my God. Like
Yep.
he doesn't understand the alternative. Like that could have ended up, like I said, my friend went through that 2 times. Radiation or the chemotherapy, all of that. And he doesn't have his wife anymore. And you are over here and could have had that. So that it could have been like that for Maurice, but he's not thinking about that. He's thinking about, oh well, she's here, but she won't give me no. Kimmy need to leave him. That's all.
And she definitely do. And I hate that it's being put out there because, like you said, it's triggering for
Mhm.
people who've seen somebody go through it or who have actually went through it, and you're complaining about sex. Okay, can it be you thinking you're gonna get a chuckle out of it? You thinking, and it's doing the opposite. It is doing the opposite. Stop freaking talking about it.
Him and
Just move on.
him and his brother are whack because both of them, and I really do, I'm glad you brought that up. I really do think Maurice thought that, oh, maybe I'll get a laugh out of this, or
Yes.
somebody will agree with me and identify with this. That's
Yep.
like telling Courtney, you talking about me getting in women's business, just to kind of shift gears a little bit, because I think that moment with them was kind of triggering for both, was very triggering for both of us at this point.
Yep.
Um, wow, and so powerful you are. Thank you for telling the story, because I think a lot that really gives perspective to the whole situation to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But shifting gears to his brother, saying to Courtney, "Oh, you talking about I'm messy in women's business, but you over there selling hair care products." Well, sir, wasn't your wife relabeling products and selling shampoo and conditioner for your daughters? So technically, you're in the hair care product business too. Okay, and
And
nothing. But guess what? That's cool. You think that's funny? You thought you ate with that little joke.
thought he ate.
Like
He really thought he ate.
dollars that he left with that bartender. How about that? While you over here living pillar to post, renting,
Baby,
he's
I
living a
like
rant.
Courtney. I like Courtney.
Yeah.
I like me some Courtney. And let me say this though, because I said this in my review. I did not care for the scene. I do feel like the scene was a little too forced. I feel like it was unnecessary. It wasn't needed. So I still stand on it. How to the ever since we had to watch it and they put it in the show, I'm mad at Courtney for having the pissing contest because he said he gonna win every time.
Absolutely.
It's
100.
what it is.
Courtney, I feel like that scene, of course, because Courtney ain't just going up to Black to hang out. So I feel like they say, okay, y'all gonna meet up, just talk about whatever. And I feel like Courtney said, "Oh, I ain't about to be sitting here like kicking the bobo with this nigga. I'm going to go ahead
Right,
and address what you did."
right.
And what I don't like though, I didn't like Stormy saying, "Oh, him coming over there asking me, saying I look different." Girl, he wasn't trying to come on.
Yeah.
He was
Mhm.
trying to soften the blow for him to ask for that $100 that
All it was.
his broke ass needed. Because Kimmy made a good point when she was talking to Maurice. She was like, "How did their costs increase? They didn't get a bigger. It's not
Agreed.
changed. They didn't get it catered. Everything was the same." What happened was Marceau saw all those vendors coming in, and he was like, "Wait a minute, we had to pay for this space that we provide them, and this all these people gonna come in here and stand a chance to make a coin. You know what? Give me $100." He
But
ain't
here's the thing. You
like,
didn't think of that when y'all first started this.
exactly.
It took you to see all the vendors come in to say, huh. maybe we should charge the people. You should have did that the first time. So much so, if you would have did it the first time, you, in my opinion, they wouldn't have had so much of an overflow of people coming in at the last minute, because that's how the episode ended from the last episode, from the first half of the season. People started coming in at the last minute because they wasn't getting that many vendors. But if you would have pushed it the first time, sir, like that, it wouldn't have been no problem. And you could have charged everybody $5 to $10, 15, 20 max. Because you feel like it's for the community. We don't want to charge the people, but people pay for what they want. You went to school and you had to pay them folks to learn, and you probably ain't doing nothing with this doggone degree. Hello to Letitia, how you doing? She got 15 on the mug sitting on the wall. You pay for school. If this information-based learning, how to get ahead, get my business, you think I won't pay nobody $20 to get in to get some information?
Exactly.
$20? And you got the people on Instagram scamming you, asking you to get them $1,500 for a course that ain't ready to get you nowhere. Oh, okay.
A guru of Google. That's exactly who these people.
Thank you.
I'm like, they done Googled the right things and put it all together.
That's all they did.
Pay them $1,500 for the 1,500 hours it would have took you to figure it out by yourself. Yeah, no, you ain't fooling me. Marceau is a low down, dirty shame used car salesman. That's what he is out here trying to scrape and survive for a coin. And he has a very smug, he has a smugness to him that I just want to be humbled so bad. I cannot wait. And it's like he walks around like God's gifts to the earth, because he feels like, oh, whatever, I am cheating on my wife and it doesn't matter. She doesn't, even if it comes out, she's not going to do anything. The gag is she's not going to do anything anyway.
The gag is.
So you keep on finding pictures of my back, my neck, and my back. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm going to stay on here talking trash to women and say what I want. And you men are not going to do anything. But I am glad, whether it's fake or for real, that Courtney checked him. And he checked him with the ever so sweetest slickness. It was not coming. I'm not yelling back and forth with you. I'm not posturing up like I'm a fight with you. I'm just telling you, you a bitch ass nigga, and I'm gonna leave this $100 here with your bartender, and I'm not giving you shit because I want to mess with these $100 bills. You feel?
I think that was the best thing ever. Even so much, even Marceau had to laugh at it and chuckle at it, because it was a great way to walk out. What a dramatic exit! I'm here for it. I love the dramatic exit. It was done very well. But y'all know I have a love-hate relationship for Marceau. Y'all know I like me some Marceau, but also with me liking him, I can't call him out on his bull crap. And one thing I will call him out on, I did not like the line when he told Courtney, "Oh, you can't be that much of a protector." Now look, sir, because you don't protect your wife, you cannot tell nobody else that, oh, you ain't that much of a protector. Oh, you just putting out. No, sir, that's just you. You the one who roll over and back up over your wife. Just because you do that, you can't project that on somebody else. And which what you were saying about Marceau, I do feel like Marceau knows that he's the villain as well. Not much of a villain as the Martell of it all, but he knows he's the villain. And I think he plays off of it. I think that's why he walks around so smug all the time, because he knows the role that he's playing.
Absolutely, 100%.
You know what he's doing, But
I think what was it? It wasn't really much else to the episode besides at the end where Kiki was like, "Was I accused or convicted?"
Oh yeah. Oh, baby, you know them old me out. Hey, girl.
Push through, honey. Go on, push through. Put your shirt on. Shake it around your head. Spin it around your head. Spin it like a helicopter. Do something. I don't like Kiki, girl. Go on. And this is who you want to care. Let me just say this. How long, Tommy? How long we gonna do this story?
Please.
It's please end next episode, like now.
Please. I don't want this to be a long drawn out thing about she did or didn't do it, you know. And here's another thing, because again, she's too accessible. She talked too doggone much. You don't let the cat out the bag. When Carlos had already got a hold on his cast from not spilling everything, here you come and undo all the work that he's done for you to go and spill the tea. Now the season's about to start, and we already know what's going on. We already know what happened, has ended, what's going on. It's like you talk too much. You too accessible.
But you know what? Also, Carlos, I'm not. I ain't checking for him, because you see how at the end of the episode he had a. So you know how to put blurbs up at the end of episodes, right?
Yeah.
You blurb up saying, "To this day, Kiki has not been convicted, and the Crime Stoppers, blah blah blah." You couldn't put a blurb up there talking about how we don't condone revenge P.
That part.
You ain't do that for
That
Mel.
part.
But you got Mel coming to award ceremonies presenting you with awards.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to come out this season or the second half.
It needs to. It needs
I
to.
wonder.
Yeah, I'm tired of I want Carlos King to cut the umbilical cord to Martell.
Yeah.
You don't need Martell for this show to be successful. He actually really his story has run its course, and I think that Martell may have bitten the hand that feeds him, because he was trying to force them to have, allegedly they're saying that he was trying to force them to have Ariane come on.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, for what? What is she gonna do?
Yeah.
Put on some lip gloss and put her hair in a bun? Like,
that's it.
No story to come out of her. We already know what she did. We saw her purpose. It's done.
But if Martell really had a team like he say he has, if Martell really was, everybody has a redeeming factor on them.
Mm-hmm.
Do I feel like he'll ever be exonerated for the Melody situation? No. I don't care. He can go be a priest. I think he'll never, ever. That stain will always stay on him. However, I do feel like he do have a redeeming factor. When he was doing the whole suit thing, follow through with that. We need to see the suit. Let us see the process. Bring the man back over here. You know, what's our process with this whole situation? Since you're talking about the house, find yourself walking up and down these streets looking for you an apartment, like what Tisha did in the first half. Do the exact same thing. Like, you can redeem yourself, in my opinion, to a certain degree, to where you don't have to be this scumball of a man in every area of your life. Like, don't you want to clean up something?
You know what I wanted to say before I forgot? The $100,000. You giving up $100,000 for a suit line, but you can't find somewhere to live for you and your children? I don't understand that. You can do suit lines, but you couldn't keep your house that was foreclosed upon? You're lying. You lying. You came, you brought your tail down here to the National Harbor here in Oxon Hill, Maryland, about 20 minutes from my house, and you was a model. You was a glorified model in this show. You didn't bit more. You modeled 3 suits. You didn't bit more get that man $100,000 than the Man in the Moon.
And there's another thing, and thank you for saying model, because I've been shouting it since whenever they divorced. That should have been something he should have put in pursuit the first time.
Yeah.
Should have been, despite how he is, and Lord knows, we know, the man can wear a suit. He can hang a suit on his body.
Mm-hmm.
He's a scumball for sure, but he ain't a bad looking guy. He could go there finding himself again. I don't have $100,000 to give you. Be transparent. I don't have it. Can I work on some collateral? What can I do? Can I be your model? Find yourself being in some type of redeeming life. That's just me. But we know he's too dumb to do it. Dumb and dumber.
Absolutely. 100,000%. So yeah,
So
and he really is crazy because if he was smart, Melody could have possibly helped him. Hell, if they were on good terms, he could have slept in the guest room for a couple days till he found a house.
yeah,
But the good thing about that whole situation with him is at least the kids have somewhere to live. They have a very nice place to live with at their mama's house. They all got their own room. She lives in a nice, big, beautiful home. So the kids, the good thing is the kids don't have to suffer through his struggle.
yeah. And I also feel like if he wasn't a butthole about it, because you already did the damage, you got
Mhm.
pregnant, move on. Me personally, I feel like they could have been in business together.
Oh yeah.
But you want to be a butthole about it, even if it had nothing to do with 7th Avenue or whatever the name was at first,
Mhm.
and he's still in construction.
Yeah, she could have
Y'all,
kept his license and helped him.
yep. Even in construction, y'all can still be working together.
Yep,
But
absolutely.
because at the end of the day, it was both of their names. Both of them,
Yep.
he probably did majority of the work, but they knew them as Martell and Melody.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
because of y'all name alone, you was gonna continue to get the business and continue to, if you just wasn't a butthole. But again,
It
scoop
was.
ball head, don't be thinking. So
He's a professional leech. That's why he won't even get his own builder's license because he wants to continue to leech off.
can't pass it.
He feels like he's entitled to other people's builder's license. Like, why do I need to get it when I can just use yours? I can just
Yep.
use you. Why do I need to do right when I can just use you? Why do I need to be a good person because I can just go over here and screw Arion whenever I want to? It's just that man is a clown, a class A clown.
Yep. Well,
That's it for LAMH, right?
that's it. We stayed on them a little bit longer than I expected to. Them a little bit too long. But speaking of, thank you, babe. Speaking of the revenge P,
Mm,
Miss Kenya Moore here brought up the revenge P on the reunion.
yes. I'm so glad she did that.
Because
And
Miss Sheree,
you just interviewed with Carlos. What a shame. Like, why you ain't say something to him in the interview? Like, why he ain't, but maybe she wasn't thinking about that because it was about her. And
I
they
was about to say that. And I think because this is my opinion as to why I feel like Kenya brought it up was because Sheree was singing his praises.
mm,
I
mm,
feel like if she wasn't singing his praises, I think me personally, I don't feel like Kenya would have said anything.
yeah,
But because she was singing his praises, oh, he's such a good guy. He's only been good to me. I don't know what people see on TV. I don't believe that. And because she said that, that's when Kenya hit her with the line. So, what about this revenge porn then? If that's the case, what you talking about? So I
right.
feel like if she wouldn't have did that, I don't think Kenya, me personally, I don't feel like Kenya would have said anything.
Yeah, it probably would have been no reason for her to bring it up, but whatever prompted her to do it, I'm glad she did because now it forces them to have to talk about it on the show at some
Yeah,
point because
because remember,
publicly out there by and this is a huge platform. This is Bravo.
mm-hmm,
This show is getting a hell of a lot more viewership than OWN. So with her, that was a huge thing for her to bring that up. And when she said it, I'm telling you, Sean, I was sitting right here. I said, I think if I had this bun on my head, it probably would have fell down. It was like my Super Bowl. I said, you better say that, girl. You
yep.
better tell these people.
But see, y'all know I'm halfway seen for Kenya either. But Kenya was the same person who was skinning and grinning with Martell last year reunion. Who is that, Martell? Tell him you over here doing a reunion.
Girl, girl. But you know what? I think once he got on the show, that prompted them to learn more about. Because think about it, if I'm a real housewife of Atlanta, all I know, oh, Martell, I don't know about y'all over here on TV. But I
Mhm.
think now that he was like a pillar on the show at this point, now it prompts them to get to know more about him. So then she looks into him more, and then now you know that he's a scumbag. But then
no, friend,
who knows
no, friend, because
already?
okay, because she brought up the DM situation that happened 2-3 years ago. That DM didn't happen after the reunion. The DM happened 2 to 3 whatever years ago. So again, where all the smoke come from? Because you skidded and gritted last year. What you doing? He did you that like you doing all of this on the reunion show last year. Now when it's time for y'all to film a month or two later after the reunion, now you want to.
Now you got a point there because like who is that Martell? And then when the show comes on, now you want to say, "Oh, he was in my DMs."
Now he on your hit list.
Reunion. If you know what I mean, or a long time ago. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Kenya, you think you're slick. You think
See? Like these folks for no reason. It be reasons. I'll be seeing it for these folks.
girl. Well, she trifling, but I'm glad that her ass brought up the damn revenge people. But, I'm glad. Glad.
But here's the thing. I don't think she did it in solidarity of, we women need to stick
together. She definitely didn't. But whatever reason she did it for, I'm glad she did.
Not doing it for that.
Because it needed to be. Carlos King needs to be forced to talk about it because and on TV should be ashamed of themselves because that is a huge thing. Huge. They should be glad that Melody is not suing them. Excuse me. Really?
I believe that it's gonna come out, and I feel like I'm sorry, y'all. The tea got perfect. I feel like for her to be that, I don't want to say buddy or cozy up with him, I feel like they probably already had a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to come out in some shape, form, or fashion. I think it's going to come out. Yeah. I think it's one of the things you have to sit back, relax, and let them play it out on their timing and how they want to do it.
Yeah.
That's just me. I could be totally wrong, but.
What else did you find interesting about that interview with Ken Carlos?
I thought one or two things. She's fired or she's walking away.
Really?
From the show. That was my biggest takeaway. Either she's fired or she's walking away on her own. And I also took it as the same people, or she was one of the people along with others that was going against Nene for speaking out, for you to turn around and do the exact same thing. You have on TV, on an interview saying, stop talking about it. I'm paraphrasing at this point, but stop talking about it. You know, if they're cutting your scenes, then they sending you a message. Oh, okay. Well, you were saying that about Nene. Do this now stand true for you? You said it, but you said it did get Nene. Now you find yourself in this same boat. And now, here go all the outrage. Come on, let us talk. What was all this smoke when Nene was doing the same thing and you was going against her? Now you finding yourself in the same situation and, we need some equality. So I either felt like, A, she was being contradictory, and B, she's either getting fired or she's walking away from the show because you was too vocal. You said way too much for you to be still employed with Bravo. That was me. That was my biggest takeaway. What was yours?
I feel like she really was like having a conversation with her good Judy and spilling the beans. And I think that even in other interviews, like Kenya she's been very transparent, at all times. Like, I don't think that this was anything out of the ordinary for what she was doing. And I don't really think that, I don't think that Kenya will leave the show. I think that they would always have her around because Kenya, despite some of her ways, she is entertaining.
I
Like,
agree.
you have the right cast around her, she is entertaining. Now, I will add that she is a bit delusional. She thought about this whole, she feels like, oh, Candy, because even with her and Candy being so close in that interview, she kind of threw Candy in the bus. She's like, well, Candy
Yeah,
gets off, and Candy don't really got time to be around the women and this, that, and the third. And, everybody got to spin off with me and da 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 da. What, girl, you hid your whole marriage from people.
but to me, I think her biggest throwing Candy up under the bus when she was like, "Oh," and they did a whole scene of 20 minutes of them just doing a table reading. I, she was your friend. What was this? Shay? I,
Girl.
so because she was dropping stuff like that, and it wasn't a lie, don't get me wrong. I hear you with what she said. We did need to see the table reading. That's just my personal opinion. I ain't mad at it. It didn't give anything. But again, are you fired or are you walking away? Because why did you feel so comfortable with letting a lot of things out?
I think she was just, I honestly really feel like she real talk. She was just expressing her opinion. And we know why they did the table reading. Bravo has a stake in that movie coming out.
Yes.
Bravo and Peacock are one and the same. So
Yes.
there's money, that's a money grab for them, putting that in. And not to mention the movie was pretty good.
I still hadn't looked at it. I said I was gonna look at it. I still hadn't looked at it.
It was a good movie, and you got
I
two
heard it was good.
stars on your show in it. So it was a synergy of cash flow for all people involved, except Kenya, because she wasn't in it. The
Right.
reality is Kenya has not been entertaining for the last 2 seasons. She
Mm-hmm.
expectations of what she feels her level of entertainment that she's provided on the show should afford her.
Yep.
And it's just not there. You want to have a show with you and Brooklyn. Okay, Brooklyn is really cute. She really is. But what are we about to watch you and her do all day? Adventures of Kenya and Brooklyn? Why? She wanted them to do a spin-off show of her taking Brooklyn to Paris.
Paris.
So
Yeah.
what?
You
So,
know what? I'm gonna say this, and I don't feel like Kenya can hold the show. I don't feel like she even
no.
can hold RHOA.
Mm-mm.
And let me say this, and I'll get back to the spinoff. I think everybody feel like they can hold the show until the ratings come out, and that's for Candy, that's for Kenya, that's for Marlo, whoever think they big boss dog over there. It's all fun and game to call yourself, I'm the longest running housewife, and you're not bringing any longest running views at all. So I think it's cute for everybody to say that until it's time for the ratings to come out. Because you really not, I don't care how much of a fan favorite you are, you ain't that much of a fan favorite because the folks ain't watching. Now,
And
when they ain't looking at it. Now, as far as the spinoff go, I would say get a girl a spinoff. Why I'm saying that is because we have gotten one for Candy. Candy not bringing in ratings either when it comes to her old lady game, her ski trip. They're still not high ratings, but you keep giving them to her. Kim never had high ratings.
Ski Trip did good. I think Ski Trip did good because that was in the brink. That was the brink up, and her wedding special did really good.
But the ski trip did good.
Mama stuff was going on.
But the ski trip did good because it was off the heels of they just got married and the family still ain't getting along. So we can still bring all this mess in here. People wanted to see Miss Mama Joyce act the fool. That was pretty much all it came. They weren't coming for Kenya. They was coming for Mama Joyce to see how she was gonna shade Todd in any way. Calling them short, they lived for that. So I think that's why I did good. But if we keep looking at it, her show's not progressing in views. It's not doing good. Same thing with Tardy for a Party. Views were never there, but y'all kept giving her a show.
Yeah, look, I'm putting my damn hair in a bun on camera.
You fine.
But the thing with Kim was Child, let me turn. I'm all ghetto. The thing with Kim was she was friends with the production company.
Yes.
Oh, that was what kept her on TV for a while. And Kim's show was slightly entertaining. I watched it in the beginning because her being all vulgar, something about seeing a white woman vulgar and drinking and looking stupid on TV. I just kind of wanted to see it. And then I liked her children. So, and her dynamic with Croy was actually sort of interesting. But the last season,
Mm-hmm.
they got on some bus and was going and she just gambling. I was like, this is a precursor to destruction.
Mm-hmm.
And look where they at now. But the game didn't do well because I feel like we weren't invested in those characters yet. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that they thought that that was going to be like the Black Vanderpump Rules. And
Yep.
Vanderpump Rules, people don't realize, didn't do good in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It only got good when the whole Stassi and Jax situation started coming out mid-season, where he was all, all of them were like, they found out people were sleeping around and cheating on people and all this, that, and the third. So then that show started to go, and then even the last 2 seasons, it wasn't doing well. But
Mm-hmm.
with Candy and the gang, I feel like they needed to at least give that 2 seasons so that it could pick up, because I did really like that show. I wanted to see those characters. Like some of the people that were on that show, I was like, oh, okay, this is cute. But I say all that to drive the point back to Kenya. Like Kenya, unless you about to bring Aunt Lori, your dad, like we don't even see any of your family members on the show except Brooklyn.
Yep.
We don't even get to
I
see
agree.
your life. Are you going to bring Brandon on the show? You going to bring
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to bring your cousin Shay back? Shout out to Shay's. You Are you going to bring Aunt Lori back? Are you going
Yep.
to explore why you and Aunt Lori haven't been talking anymore? Which, contrary to popular belief, I don't think that Kenya should be mad at Aunt Lori. Honestly, I think Aunt Lori was just telling her the inevitable. Like, if
Let it go.
yeah, let it go. Like,
Let it go.
suffering through this anymore, and
Mm-hmm.
you've known for years that she doesn't want to have a relationship with you.
Yep.
You didn't daggone well going and taking a whole boatload of cameras to her house wasn't going to make her want to be
I agree.
close with you. So I think that Kenya doesn't like to have people around her that don't kiss her ass, and
Agree.
um you know piss on that won't she want people to piss on her and tell her it ain't raining. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
bye. Bye. So
Yeah.
yeah, you couldn't have a spinoff because you just want a whole bunch of yes people around you. Candy, one thing I can say about her, that woman will always be successful because she allows people around her to shine. She's never trying to be the center of attention all the time. She allows other people to get a bag. And I don't really see that happening with a Kenya spinoff because she's not going to want to let her family members get any shine, like, or really be honest about her whole life. You didn't even want to be honest about your wedding. You didn't want to, you
Yep.
on Wives, you finally becoming a housewife, but you didn't even tell the people she was getting married. That don't
But
make
even if we fast forward, you don't even want to be honest about your divorce or the lack thereof.
exactly.
You're not even talking about the divorce.
Yeah, and I'm like, if it wasn't for me thinking that Mark was just exceptionally shady, I I don't even know if they were really married at this point.
I still stand on, I don't think that they were honestly married. This cannot all be over a custody for the baby. Because at this point, and the reason why I'm saying that, because the custody, excuse me, the divorce can go on. All right, we're gonna grant y'all this divorce. Y'all gonna take this over here to family court. They're gonna have to work that out over there.
Right.
Y'all ain't married no more. And maybe I'm being too simple about the situation. I don't know law, so I ain't gonna pretend like I do know law. But in my way of thinking, I would feel like it'll be okay. Y'all ain't got no ties together. You said you'll pay him off. He asked you for this type of money. The divorce decree is here. Move on, going about y'all business. Now
Right.
y'all take this over here to family court and y'all work out this custody battle with baby Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I feel like this isn't a divorce case anymore. This is a something else case, you know.
And my thing is, why are y'all like? He shouldn't even be allowed to ask for anything, really, because everything that she obviously had before they got married.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really interesting to me that this is going this long.
Yeah.
If it's not about money, you know,
So
what I'm saying?
they say.
Make any sense, but
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna read this to y'all. Let me do this, and I'll share the screen. And these are on the Housewives.
mm,
So Cool Girl has went through all of the Housewives. Only people that she haven't done yet is Candy and Drew, I believe. I don't think those are the only two people she haven't done yet. So she started off with Moneta. She says, "Chop. She isn't funny. She can't read. She doesn't really move the story along, and she doesn't understand the function of AFOH. Every attempt read ends in shame and disaster. She opens her mouth and it's buffering. Nice lady, but we don't need nice right now. What are your thoughts? Keep Mayetta or Mayetta needs to go?
uh, let me say this. I like Moneta, but I don't think TV is for Moneta.
I agree.
Moneta, oh, I hate that. Listen, Moneta she ain't giving. Like
I
when she,
agree.
that whole I do public speaking for work, and it bothers me when people are like and yet she does that through.
A
I'm
lot.
girl, get it the freak out.
Yeah.
Talk like she
Yeah.
does, and she always says, and you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying. I can't stand that either. She does that through. She cannot create a clear and concise point when she
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
you know, even though I think the shows have taken too far of a turn of, ooh, that read was good. She read her and did
Yeah.
it. It ain't all about a
The
reading.
read. I agree.
But when it comes time to read somebody, if I gotta sit through Moneta and you know what I'm saying, and no, it's a
I,
pass.
so here's my thing. I think Mayetta needs to be chopped too. Send her on about her way. Send her on back over there with that white man and them
Yeah,
children.
yeah.
This is my thing with Mayetta. I think Mayetta don't want to show her real authentic self. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna shake the table a little bit, and I also feel like she think that Candy is wrong in certain situations, but she'll never go against the grain, which I'm not mad at. That's your bread and butter too, so I leave it right there. But as long as she's going to continue to play lapdog to Candy, I don't think she'll ever be, in my opinion, I don't think she'll ever be what we probably looking for as a housewife for her. That's just me. I don't think she bring anything. I don't think she have that much of a personality. Do I think she a sweet woman? Do I probably think she probably really is cool in real life? Like,
Yeah.
give her that.
Oh, I think she's
TV? Mm-mm.
I think she's a good friend. I think she may be a cool person. I think she may be fun, all that good stuff. But I don't think that she's a lapdog for Candy. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think that she's been given enough opportunity to be a lapdog for anybody. Really. She don't talk. We ain't seen her at her house. At least when Marlo was a friend, we saw the townhouse and the lift. We
Not the little.
nothing, and we don't know where Monietta live at. We ain't seen. We saw Heath 3 times. But she's gotten a lot of benefits as a friend of. She done been on vacations. She got a door slammed in her face. It's a lot. It's a lot. But it's a pass. I'm gonna go ahead and
But
pass.
I'm passing too. But let me say this too with Mayetta. I do feel like when she is around Candy, she switch up. when Candy is not there, she is more free and letting her hair down. So I picked it up on the TV screen. Like there's a big difference. I'm gonna read two of these comments. Shout out to Stella. She said many divorces take 3, 4, 5+ years if you have a hole involved. Fulton County Court isn't faking family court hearings. I agree with that. I don't think nobody said that, Stella. What I did say is I don't think they're in divorce court. If they are, go ahead and divorce them folks and send them over there to family court. It's about Brooklyn. So
I think their divorce is out of New York, though.
oh, they're not. I thought everything was here in Atlanta.
No, I think it's all in New York for some reason.
Wow.
She always I think she goes up there to go to court a lot. So yeah.
Shout out to Britt for the super chat. Said, hey, Sean and Shay. Child Mayetta doesn't have the best reputation back home. Sips tea. Friend, you got to give us the tea. What's the tea, friend?
Beauty.
Nevertheless, beautiful girl, but boring. Goodbye. Shout out to Britt for giving us a teaser of tea and giving us a super chat. Shout out to her. Now, Miss Britt, you're gonna have to spill some tea, friend. What is you talking about? So next we have Sanya. She says, forgettable. Sanya doesn't bring much to the group scenes, and she always falls flat with in a verbal conflict. She doesn't even know why she's mad at you when you ask for clarification. She doesn't even know how to effectively be a mediator and move the story along since she's not verbal. Everything gives pedestrian flip-flop. The pregnancy and the sister carried her. Chop. Okay? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't have no thoughts on saying you can go.
So are you along the lines of saying you can go too?
Oh, absolutely. She don't even have no thoughts on herself because I barely heard her at the reunion. She ain't had nothing to say. She sat up there pregnant and probably hungry, and they ain't had nothing to say. All she does, I need her to get her lips from suction cupped on Marlo's butthole. That's what I need her to do.
You know what? I found that to be interesting too. I'm like, girl, how you gonna sit up here the whole season and ain't said Nathaniel?
Exactly.
Ain't said nothing, girl. Do you want your job or no? Say something. Jump in. Girl, say something.
And I'm just sick of her and Marlo acting like they so close because you know, oh yeah, when I got pregnant again after, my heart goes out to her for her with her baby.
Right.
Got pregnant again. Marlo is the one that you tell after, before the 12 weeks. And Marlo chiming in, yeah, and her family did move out, but she's always over there. Like trying to make like y'all just so cool and close. Girl, bye. I don't care. I send you and take Marlo with you.
Okay, so we Mayetta gone, Sanya gone. Now here we are by Sheree. You're either a evil genius or extremely tired. Because it gives to me she brought Courtney in to finish the job, failed. Sheree doesn't give us anything doesn't give us anything. She can't read and she's not a leader, but she's messy and her life is a mess. Like Bob popping up with this secret baby while Sheree throws a party she can't afford. Her little crew also only attacks people Sheree isn't feeling. I want to chop you, but I'm going to hold my hand. Thoughts. Now, let's say this on Bob. She knew about that baby. Or the child. She ain't no baby. Sheree knew.
I think she knew too.
She knew.
Because for you to have somebody just jumping in your picture, and you had People Magazine here taking pictures and all this stuff, you would have wanted to know, well, who the hell is this getting in the picture with us?
You would have been more of an outrage, even if it was y'all been divorced 35 years later. That's still worth the outrage of nigga. You don't had a whole baby this whole time, and I don't know. Even if it ain't because I'm still in love with him, you would
Yeah,
have had some type of outrage behind it.
yeah. Stuttering Stanley Sheree can go.
Right. And
Um,
then she called the girl by her name. Most people didn't pick that up.
yeah.
When she walked over there, she called her by her name.
See, and
But you don't know her? Okay.
the girl acted comfortable. Like she wasn't awkward at all there at all. Like I feel like she sat on the couch and put her feet up at the chateau before. Like it's
Of course.
familiar for her. But you know what's interesting about Sheree to me? Not really interesting, but just irritating. You can make a whole pamphlet about Candy, but your website is and you gonna make a whole website over She News and all this, that, and the third. But you can't sell a jogger to save your life. And you want to talk about Candy and yeah, Candy is buying these clothes for $10 and selling them for 75. Well, bitch, y'all on the same website getting y'all shit. You
Say.
wouldn't, but you just selling it higher than what can you selling it for even a more absurd price.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Read a P&L. Read a P&L, Sheree. Because
They
you
doing the exact same thing.
don't know nothing about business. You don't know if your business is profiting. Let me tell you something. Her business is definitely profiting. I'm pretty sure it is. Because even if Sheree bought 200 pieces, right? I'm pretty sure it only costs $3 or $4 to sell that bullshit. I mean to
Right.
purchase clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And you selling it for $245. You have marked that up so ridiculously that one sale probably pays for 30 items that you bought
Yep.
easily, and you still make a profit.
Now let me play devil's advocate. I'm not mad at the She News. I feel like that works better for her than She by Sheree. I was for the She News. I loved it. I think she should be a blogger. It worked.
She didn't do it her. You know she didn't do
She
that.
didn't do it, but because her name is attached to it, and she do have some type of insight to She News. Come on, She News. I think it'll work better than She by Sheree.
Them rehearsed reads that Sheree did, you could tell that it was rehearsed. She sat up there as soon as the episode comes on. Oh, let me hurry up and get my lines out before I forget, because you know I be stuttering up here.
Oh
That
Lord.
can't stutter through that. She read. She gave her little reads for Candy, and then she ain't had nothing left to give after that.
I think
She,
all of them had rehearsed lines. Nothing gave organic. Nothing gave everybody from beginning to end. All of it gave rehearsed lines.
mm, mm, mm.
Okay, so
Oh,
now we have Crystal.
oh, Crystal. Okay.
So she said, "You all not Crystal. What's her name? Courtney. Why I call her
Uh,
Crystal?
who is Crystal?
Courtney. Sorry, girl. You need to be a little bit more memorable because I called you Crystal and your name is Courtney. You almost had me. Now I'm 50-50. While I'm not interested in her alleged love triangle with Drew and Ralph, the issues with Kenya is a natural slow burn. She doesn't really give housewives to me, and I find her very lowbrow, but drop the Ralph stuff. Yeah, I mean, one and a half chop, half chop. What do you think about Miss Courtney? Go or stay?
Courtney gonna be gone right along with Drew and Ralph, because Courtney is the side chick. That is kissing cousin Courtney. Because
Definitely giving kissing cousins.
caressing her, it made him think about Tampa, because that's who he was down there with. You ain't fooling me. Courtney is
Definitely gave.
Ralph into the sunset every night.
But you know what I will say? I actually don't think that Courtney is gonna leave. I think Courtney will be back.
Ugh, I don't know why. She's not entertaining. All she did was yell over people. And
I
she
think she'll be back. And like the little person said, because of Kenya. I think her and Kenya will be the new Nene in Kenya. I think that's going to be her sparring partner. Courtney isn't afraid to go after her. Courtney isn't afraid to say certain things. I think they're going to bring her back. Even when Courtney do her little interviews, I saw a little snippet of it, and she was going at her heart. She was going after Kenya. So because of that alone, and she's not shying away from it, I think they'll bring her back. Do I think she'll be a full housewife? No, but I think she'll come back as a friend of the show. And Public Enemy is definitely going to be Kenya if Kenya is back. But
I gotta disagree. I
okay.
don't a reasonable opponent. Like you can keep on coming for me all day, but if what you giving ain't what I really want to receive, like you can come for me all day long. That's just like a bully at school, somebody that wants to bully you. But if you ain't up for being bullied, like somebody constantly chirping in my ear all day, and I'm like, are you done? That's not entertaining.
But we talking about Kenya though.
Yeah,
Kenya's playing it cool now because one thing I give Kenya's smart. She not gonna do the back and forth silly stuff because she ain't getting
right.
paid to do it. Kenya's smart. I definitely give her that. When it comes back on and them cameras are rolling, she gonna give Courtney everything she been looking for and wanting.
I don't think so because she ain't give her much. And Courtney tried her. Like Courtney was like, yeah, and Kenya, like, you faking your that's karma for her fall and this, that, and the third. All that she kept trying to give little morsels out there to trigger Kenya. And it just Kenya wasn't picking up what she was putting down. And honestly, I just think if I'm an executive producer and I'm looking at Courtney versus Kenya, Courtney is not she's not a reasonable opponent for Kenya at all.
Mm-hmm.
It would
Okay.
be it would be 2 episodes and we're done with them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now the last person we have is Marlo. So like I said, she didn't do Drew as of yet. It hasn't been posted. Let me say it that way. Drew and Candy. I think they're the only two housewives just left. So she does Marlo, and she says she doesn't work as a housewife. Everything she's doing, she did as a friend of housewife.
Mm-hmm.
And she has more effective in that, and she was more effective in that capacity. She's too packed with trauma. She doesn't have a compelling story to tell, and she's as guarded as when she was a friend of housewife. She doesn't feel like a necessity. We will have the same season with or without the peach chop. Now we already know what's the when it comes down to Miss Marlowe, we know that everybody is team she can go.
Yeah,
Everybody, I think everybody is feeling that way.
100%. Because it's not giving what she thought it was supposed to give, and that person had it pegged correctly. You're
Yeah.
doing stuff that you were doing when you were a friend.
Yep.
You're not doing anything different.
Nothing.
You are an antagonist, like, but you're not doing anything that's making us want more from your life at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you doing these seasonal photos with your nephews, that wasn't drawing us in. It wasn't.
I agree, and I do think so. As her, I say the same thing about like I said, Martell. She do have a redeeming factor, and you spent all of your season till they cut it and was like, "All right, this ain't getting us nowhere." But you really spent the first half of your scenes trying to connect with your deceased nephew and what happened at her restaurant, trying to connect the two and think us and tell us that the sky is blue. It don't work that way. We know that. Like, you trying to tell us something, sell us on something when we know better. And you was trying to force it so that the puzzle piece just was not fitting. So outside of that, I feel like she has a redeeming factor, and she should have just went on her being more of a, what she call herself, a auntie? No, what she
Oh,
call herself? Monty.
mm-hmm.
Focus on that for real. I
Yeah.
imagine her dating, having a potential boo and seeing what's that's like outside of the what people always call you leaving money on the nightstand and you the lady of the hour. Let us see some type of substance because you are ready to settle down. Go ahead and do more of your foster care fashion show type stuff, whatever it is that she's doing. And I feel like Marlo is shady and still bring the shade that goes along with it. But you are a housewife. You have to step it up. You have to tell us something. And you ain't saying nothing.
She's not saying anything. She's not sharing anything. You had Scott Lee come, but like, what are you really doing with him? You're not claiming him. Like, mm, eh, I'm good. I'm good on
Yeah.
my.
Okay. I agree. Britt said scrap everybody, they making me tired. I'm the same way. I feel like everybody should go. But I've said that. I think everybody should go. I think they need to start fresh. I think they need to do a New York reboot, rebrand, new ladies. Because and here's why. All of their stories have exhausted. What is it that we can talk about? What else are we gonna see for Candy? Candy came in as a single mother
Mm-hmm.
trying to get herself back out there in the world. She has flourished beyond her imagination of what she was thinking. You're
Mm-hmm.
married, you'll have two more kids, you're doing plays, you got business, you got your group back together. Opening up business 105 isn't going to move us. It's not going to do anything. You
You know,
can't.
I think I've just become just used to seeing Candy. Like, I just, and maybe it's my draw to escape the group too. I'd love to see Tamika come on. Tamika from Escape.
I'm
Come.
not mad at that.
I would like her to come on the show. She cooks. She's entertaining. She's funny. I feel like she could read back with the girls. She could intertwine with the girls. She has the financial status that a housewife should have. I wouldn't be mad at that. If Toya didn't have her own show, I would have liked to see. See, Candy has good entertaining friends. Now,
And
Monya
see, that's the problem because people gonna want more of who she's around versus her.
than her, right? But she's the connectivity to the entertaining people. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it's necessarily that Candy is not a good, what do I say, catalyst to the whole thing. I just think, we are so used to seeing her. She has given so much story already. I'm okay with just seeing her be like a supporting cast member, but I don't know if she should get paid all that money just to be supporting.
I agree. I do think if you're not gonna get rid of her, she need to be demoted
Mm-hmm.
because you're not showing up. You're not there. You're too busy because you have other things
You
that you
got
feel like.
jobs, but yeah,
Yeah,
I would like to see her in for me full time. I'd like to see Portia come back. Like I said, if we could get Tamika. I want to see Candy and Phaedra. I know that
I agree.
people don't agree with that,
I
but
do.
like, Candy don't owe Phaedra nothing. I don't think she owes her anything. I just said it'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
Um,
I
even
think the word "oh" shouldn't be used, and I think people should stop saying that. In my opinion, like "oh, she don't owe her anything." I don't feel like that. It has to be down to her having to owe Phaedra something.
right.
I agree with what is being said. If you can move on with Portia, why can't you move on with her? And not even to a point to where y'all friends. We talking about something for the betterment of the show.
You
Just
know,
because she come on the show don't mean that y'all finna start being buddy buddy and y'all swapping out babies and you keep my child for the weekend. It doesn't mean that. You can still be friends with Marlo.
I think that Candy is cordial with Marlo, but I think that Phaedra did stuff. It's kind of one of those things where you allow somebody to be so close to you, and I think Candy and Phaedra, they were like besties.
I
She's
do think they were really good friends. I agree.
Alabama to go to her graduation. Like, Candy and Phaedra were two peas in a pod. But I think that it really hurt Phaedra when Candy had Apollo's stuff in her
Yeah.
garage. And I think that Phaedra should have really been a grown woman and had a conversation with Candy. And I think that Candy
Mhm.
should have been grown enough to receive what her friend was saying instead of just telling her, girl, you tripping, or whatever the case may be. Also, I feel like Candy is holding a grudge with Phaedra because Candy said, alluded to, and I think it was on the reunion, or I can't, if she may have did an interview, that Phaedra held up her permits for
Yeah.
open because she had a friend that
They're
worked
right.
in the permit office or whatever. And
Mhm.
So you know how Candy is about her businesses and her money. You're not about to play with my bag. And for you to go to far lengths to be doing all this dastardly double crossing stuff, you're just a nasty person.
But I also feel like this hearsay. She don't know that to be actual and
She
factual.
don't. She
She
don't.
don't know that. And I think that's, again, we got to be collect, you know, got to be careful with the selective outrage, because although it may not be to the magnitude of what Phaedra did, but you're in return doing the exact same thing, saying something that you don't know to be true. You're just feeling this way because, oh, I remember this. She had a friend over there, blase, blase, blase. But Candy, we're not also not gonna make it seem like your restaurant ain't failing its inspections either. We ain't gonna make it seem like we didn't see on the show how they sitting in the dark because y'all won't go get a generator, but y'all go do all this other stuff. So I don't feel like it's fair for Candy to say things like she knows to be actual and factual, as if your business itself, don't already have some flaws going on. But I
But
do feel like
she should come back because there's a lot of story there between the two of them. You know, if Candy, you want to get paid $2 million a season, you need to go ahead and square up with Phaedra. Deal with y'all issues.
I agree. I agree with it. I feel like if you want to be paid the top dog money, swallow your pride.
Mm,
And this isn't a actual working thing where we sitting in the cubicle and you got to sit next to her. This
yeah,
not the case. Y'all
right.
gonna film for what, 3 months, 5 months max, and you won't know about your business.
And
And y'all not even gonna do every scene together.
mm-hmm. Yep.
You're not gonna do it. But I do feel like Phaedra, I think we're owed that to see how it would have went down. But I do feel like the demise of their relationship really was from the Apollo situation when they was going through their divorce or about to start the divorce proceeding, and he was about to go to jail.
Yeah.
Uh,
But Phaedra, I just felt, yeah, I would love to. I think that would be a huge, that would bring the ratings back. That would produce some natural TV right there.
yeah, I think that would definitely bring ratings back.
Hmm.
But Lee said now Phaedra told her how she felt, and Candy acted like Phaedra was being dramatic. Faye was dang near crying, and Candy laughed at her complaining. I think that sent Phaedra over the edge.
Oh yeah, I remember that when Phaedra came to the candy factory and they were
Mhm.
talking. I thought it was messed up that Candy wasn't seeing what her, she's,
What you trying to say?
we're supposed to be friends, and you
Hmm.
telling me, listen, it's not my fault. Todd did it.
Yeah,
That's my husband.
yeah.
Like, it's no way. Even Phaedra said, "There's no way that I'm gonna be up in my house hiding stuff for Todd." And you
Hmm.
my girl, like, no. So,
And then Candy was the one who put out the information about the Mr. Chocolate.
mm,
I mean,
allegedly, he was supposed to be
Jamal Bryant.
Bryant. Mm-hmm.
So I get it, because what Phaedra said did was low. I'm not taking up for Phaedra then. She shouldn't have done it. I feel like she could have hit Candy with any other thing outside of doing that type of rumor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with Candy. Like, that was the lowest thing she could have done. She went too low. But I will say Candy ain't innocent in this situation either.
No.
You're not innocent to want to play the role of I just can't face her. She did the unthinkable. You did some dirty stuff too. Now it wasn't as low as Faye Face, but you did some stuff.
Yeah, she's stubborn, and I think that she handled Phaedra wrong in the beginning. She wasn't a good friend with that whole Apollo stuff, and it's messed up.
Mm-hmm. And she did Drew. Hold on, I'll read this one first. It's not for Candy to make the decision, put that on the network. I do agree with that. If they want Phaedra back, they can bring her back on the show. I agree with that. I feel like she holds too much power, but she knows that.
Yeah.
The next one says she did Drew like she did Phaedra. Outed her. Is that what you're talking about, Lee?
I don't know about that. That ain't the same.
Okay. Stella says, Shay, you right. Candy and Phaedra were like sisters. Their hurt run very deep. Phaedra introduced her to Todd.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I,
Well,
yeah, the Candy got to grow up with that one.
yeah. The shakeup needs to happen. I do feel like a shakeup is needed and is needed bad. And I agree. I don't think, although this happened, you can tell Bravo want Phaedra back.
Mm-hmm.
They're inching her in bit by bit, piece by piece. And if she's going to be the breakout star that they think she is going to be over there in Married to Medicine,
Mm-hmm.
she may be back over there, or may not. She may stay over there on Married to Medicine, and that just be her new home. She'll never go back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. But you may also jeopardize the show even more to where now Married to Medicine fitting ready outrun y'all.
It already has in ratings.
It's gonna outrun you.
We gonna see. We gonna see.
Yes, we gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, y'all, we'll almost hit this 2 hour mark. And we try to stay between the 1:30. No further over the 1 hour and 30 minutes. But because it's been a while, we're gonna let us slide this time, but we ain't going over this 2 minutes. We gonna cut it, 2 hours. We cutting it at the 2 hour mark. Shay, do you have any last words, comments, whatever?
I'm just happy to be back.
Yeah.
More Tuesday panels, more topics, more fun, more conversations. Let's do it.
Yes, I totally agree, y'all. We are back, and we about to come back harder than we was at first. Okay, so if you haven't done so already, please tell me what you waiting on. Don't worry about it. Don't tell me. Just do it. Go ahead and subscribe to both of our channels, shayreneeonline. Go over there and hit that subscription bell. Like the videos while you over there. Drop in her comments. Let her know that you over there looking and listening. And don't just be lurking, okay? And do the same thing over here with Deep Conversation with Sean. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that bell. Like, comment, share it out, all of the above, okay? So that's all we got, y'all. We ain't got no more.
That's all,
We
folks.
can go on and on, but we won't. We're gonna have to stop, and we're gonna save some for next week. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. We'll see you guys, and we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.